Hi, it's John from Crescente Management Centre here. Is online learning as good as face-to-face learning? I'd like to start by thinking about a basic learning process. So if we think about learning as plan, do, review, and then repeating that cycle over and over. So keeping it simple in terms of learning being a gradual, repetitive sort of process. So if we kind of bear that in mind, then I think by online, I'm going to take that to mean not in a classroom. So I think online is really good. It's convenient, it's accessible, it's there whenever we want it. We can watch things, let's say kind of video-based content, for example, over and over, even recorded workshops, I guess. And I suppose there are lots of advantages to that. I think another real key difference with online learning, I guess for me, that you pay for rather than stuff that is maybe freely available is, I think when you pay for it, it's more structured. And I think that structure is really, really key. I think the things to watch out for online learning then are, how structured is it? Like I've just mentioned. And are you motivated enough to keep looking at it and watching it over and over? And I think a lot of the time that's about finding a format that works for you, whether that's an audio book or a video or a particular provider or a particular person who delivers it or what have you. And I think once you find those the right kind of criteria for you, learning and training that sort of fits for you, then it's easier to kind of do it and watch that over and over again. Where there isn't the motivation, then I think asking for help is key. If you're not finding that you're able to apply it or structure it very well, then again, I think online learning, it's just a case of asking for help. And that might be from your line manager or from a coach, or it could be lots of sources, people like us. Face-to-face learning then is really good too. I think the problems with it obviously are that you've got to be in a room with other people, there is travel and other kind of inconveniences, if you like, that go with it. But I think where face-to-face is still really, really key compared to online is skills development. So I've been delivering face-to-face training, leadership and management training for many, many years. And stuff used to be, like a 4 or 5 day residential, then it was a 2-day offsite, then it was a 1-day on-site training course. And more frequently now, our face-to-face learning, where it is actually in a room, is quite often a day or maybe half a day or a couple of different workshops with different groups within a day. So that timescale's come down, but I don't think there's any replacement for that in terms of wanting to get peer feedback, getting tutor feedback from people like myself. We often use business actors, so actors that come in and we've got very carefully kind of crafted situations that you can just be yourself and just kind of work through without having to role play or whatever, and being able to really quite quickly within a few hours really take a skill from being like a 2 or 3 out of 10, maybe up to kind of like a 5 or a 6 out of 10, something like that. So I think it's really worthwhile. Somewhere in the middle, I guess, then is virtual classroom stuff. So live workshops, we do a lot on Zoom and Teams now, and that's fine for the most part, particularly as long as people are engaged and the technology is good and the use of the tech is good, which is fine. But I still don't think it's quite as rich and therefore quite as good as the face-to-face stuff for key behavioural and key kind of skills development. So I think each of them have their place. Is online as good as face-to-face learning? Yes and no. Online is great for certain things, face-to-face for certain things. So choose the right method. So I hope you found that useful. If you want any feedback or any advice or ideas for us for your management and leadership development, then please do get in touch. Thanks for watching.